This is the local history room in my library. It contains thousands of books, some of them quite old, which includes things like public records. For instance, here are some reports from the 1970s. There are kind of polls of registered voters and people who are paying property tax. There's some special collections. For instance, these are city directories from some of them as early as the 1930s, it looks like. Oh, maybe even older than that, from the 1800s. And then yearbooks from high schools and other schools that are in the area. And this is a genealogy goldmine. I was told by the librarian that depending on the level of funding, other towns in New England may have similar resources. But if the library is not well funded, they may not be able to have a dedicated room for these types of resources, and the books from, say, some other town may not be available to look at, or they haven't been properly cataloged, or they're kind of like locked up somewhere. But this is a really good place to do research if you have ancestors in a certain town. I've certainly found things that I wouldn't have found otherwise, certainly not on Ancestry or anything like that. And just to give you one example, these are very old, original insurance maps, including details that I've never seen online anywhere. So this is a really useful resource. And again, check your local library to see if they have something similar. If the library of your ancestors is in another place, you can email them or call them, ask to speak to the reference librarian, and ask to say, hey, do you have like insurance maps or yearbooks or poll registers or property rolls or whatever for the town, and if they're available to look at, and you can do a genealogy road trip.